rock stars, it's Rox, and I'm coming to you today with a review for Love and Hip Hop Miami, season 3, episode 10, is it? So let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys, so the show opens with Miami Tip, Suki, and Chameleon. They go to the radio station. I guess they're going to promote this whole BAPS tour. Okay. 103.5 down there in Miami, I'm assuming. And they're talking to the host DJ. I don't know what her name is, but you know, they're just talking about this BAPS tour coming up. Who's going to be on it? It's going to be Hood Brat. It's going to be Suki. It's going to be Chameleon, you know, and it's going to be something. Okay, well, you guys, you know, you're doing your music. You know, I know, Suki, you got an album coming out. You know, it seems to be a little bit toned down. You know, was that by design? Did you do that on purpose? She says, well, you know, she got this real, you know, she's usually the real hood, ratchet, nasty type. However, she did have to tone it down because, you know, she wants to get these spins on the radio and whatnots. And, you know, it's just hard for her as a dark-skinned artist. I don't even see Suki as a dark-skinned artist, but that's just me, okay? But she says it's harder for a dark-skinned artist. She's not able to say and do all the nasty shit, I guess, that light-skinned blacks or, you know, Latina, you know, Afro-Latina, whatever you guys want to call them, rappers are able to do. So there's a lot of colorism in the industry, you know, and she feels it. So she felt like maybe she needed to tone it down and put this album out. Chameleon says she also has discrimination against her. You know, she got a flat ass, she got a gap in her teeth, you know, so people don't like her too, you know, and I guess she hasn't had work done to her body. You know, so she also faces discrimination, and then she also feels the colorism. And I was just like, are we making this trivial? I was just like, I mean, it just seemed like it came out of nowhere. Neither one of them are dark skinned to me, you know, but maybe because I'm not in this whole thing that, you know, anyway. Tip says that she has the opposite. You know, people always think because she's light skinned, you know, that she's not black enough. So she always has to prove her blackness and all of that. So they go through their issues in the industry as far as colorism and being women and being sexual and, you know, not being able to do what the other women do and all of that. Okay, fine. We did have a part that I was just like, now, how did we get on this? When Chameleon talks about her grandmother being a legend, I think here in Atlanta, I think the grandmother got caught up in some man tried to kidnap her or something, and she killed the man, and then she ended up going to jail for a long time. I mean, I have that story not right because I was looking at my notes and I was like, I don't think I put this correctly. But she supposedly had kidnapped a white man. Was that what it was? And then she killed? Child, I don't know. But Chameleon's mama was Granny was in jail for doing something to some white man out here in Atlanta. Okay, so she's had a lot of tragedy in her life, and I guess Suki has and all that. So I mean, we have that scene, and then that's that. Now Hood Brat wasn't with them, okay, because Hood Brat is in the studio and she's working on her music. I'm telling you, that Hood Brat has a nice flow. I had never really heard her, but you guys had told me that Hood Brat was good. Actually, all three of these girls I think are pretty talented. Suki is not my flavor, but like Hood Brat, when she was rapping, I was just like, girl, I ain't even gonna front. I'm not even gonna try to make fun of you, girl. You was doing that. I mean, that shit was going. So I was just like, okay, Hood Brat, I see you. You know, Hood Brat is a little distracted after she finishes in the booth. You know, she come out and she tells us that she had to, you know, just does her regular little checkup of her man's phone. Women, y'all gonna stop looking through these men's phones. Okay, you look, you gonna find. All right, if you feel the need that you need to be searching through people's phones to see what the fuck is going on in there, then you already know what it is. She went on and looked in the phone and come to find out that the baby mama that he supposedly been talking to is actually his wife. Got a whole fucking wife out there. Hood Brat was like, what the fuck? We all together. He ain't never said nothing about this. So she got a bone to pick with Kenny. He was one of the only glowing things that was going on good in her life. And now this, you know, so she just sort of like, yeah, this is just bad, you know, but she gonna have to talk to him because we can't let this slide. So later on we see her at the house. Okay, fuck she got on, where's she going? I was just like, girl, you was completely made up. You got this sheer, you know, this bodysuit and these sheer sparkles and shit just to sit in this house and complain to your man. Hood brat was just like, you know, when he comes in, you know, she on her orange juice jar, was like, hey baby, you know, where you been? What you been doing? Yeah, I love you. You know, I missed you. I missed you so much. I went through your phone today. She tells him that she looked through the phone and she found out that the baby mama is actually the wife. And he didn't really seem too affected by that. She said, so why wouldn't you tell me that? And he was like, well, I didn't really think that it was even that important. And she was just like, excuse me? We in a relationship? I'm your woman, you my man? You don't think that I should have probably knew that information? You don't think you should have told me that shit from the beginning? Now, Kenny, you know, he a man of few words. He ain't really saying too much, but it sounds like even though they're married, he obviously is separated from the wife. However, it sounds like in the text messages that Hood Brat read that he and the wife are trying to talk about maybe reconciliation. And that's the problem that Hood Brat has. He says that they just co-parenting. She was just like, no, that don't sound like co-parenting to me. And since you're not even going to want to admit, you know, what you're doing wrong here, I'm done with this. Okay. So then she get up and she walk out of her apartment. All right, but she outside, and I guess Mona and them was like, girl, don't you leave because we got to finish this scene. So she just outside talking to herself like, I'm not gonna be sitting up here putting up with this, you know, in her sheer, you know, bodysuit and all of this. And then here come Kenny. They send Kenny out there. He was just like, look, Hood Brat, it is not that big of a deal. And she was like, no, it is a big deal. You should have told me this. You should have let me know what exactly was going on in y'all relationship. Instead, you just gonna let me find out this way. You all up in your text messages, you all heard about her leaving you, and you know, you say all like, you the one that left this, not me. And he was like, well, I was just telling her, I was just letting her know, you know, when she always want to bring up us not being together, I'm just letting her know, like, you the one left, not me. But of course, when women hear that, you know, we think to ourselves like, oh, she left you. That must have meant that you didn't want to leave her. So yeah, Hood Brat got a problem with old Kenny. And I was like, damn, Kenny, I liked you too. You seem to have a good head on your shoulders. But you know, I guess we'll find out in the future exactly what was going on with baby moms and Kenny. Hold your head up though, Hood Brat girl. You can rap. You might be able to do something out there. And then let's jump over to Amara La Negra. She is back at the house, and Amara La Negra is stressed. Okay, she's trying to, you know, figure out if she did the right thing, you know, just a couple of days ago. That mama, she mad. Okay, you got this dog, he boo-booing all over the place, you know. Nobody's watching the fucking dog. The dog is supposed to be Amara La Negra's and MJ's. MJ is gone. So, you know, what we doing? Oh my God, Mom, I'm trying to work on my music. I'm not thinking about the dog right now. And then she goes on to tell us that maybe she was a little hasty in doing what she did to MJ the other day. You know, she was just acting on emotions. You know, she was upset. So after old girl told her what she said, you know, she just came home and she just blasted off on the nigga right then. But, you know, when she think about it now, maybe that wasn't the best move. Mama can tell that maybe she's getting a little wishy-washy on this MJ thing and might be trying to bring him back to the house. Amara La Negra's like, I don't know. Okay. I just came in and I exploded. Maybe we should talk. But Mama was just like, listen, don't even worry yourself about that. Okay, cut that shit out. Okay, MJ is gone and that's what you meant and you said it and you did it. Okay, cut it out rapido. But you know, Amara La Negra, she says the house feels empty without him. It's just going to be a matter of time. You guys know that Amara La Negra and MJ are still together at this very moment. But whatever, you know, Amara La Negra, because of the stress already of Julian being gone and, you know, her having to take over her career and all that, not having a manager or whatever, she says that her and Bucky and her hair and JoJo had already planned the spa day. However, that was before she got into this shit with MJ, and now she got to be sitting up here with Bucky in her hair, who is MJ's sister. So she just wants to be able to, you know, when you get with your girls, you just want to talk about them and not have to be going through no changes with your girls. But Bucky in her hair poses a problem. So when they all sit down in the room together, you know, and JoJo is looking back and forth between the two of them, I mean, you can feel the tension in the air. She was just like, well, what's going on? What's happening between the two of you guys? Bucky and her hair got a problem that a bitch from 10 years ago can come and say something to Amara La Negra and she can drop her brother like a hot rock. Okay, because listen, she know my brother. My brother ain't never misrepresented himself. You know, he ain't never been a rich man, but he ain't never been a broke man, you know, and she coming there and just letting some other woman tell him, you know, tell her what's what. That shit ain't cool. And because Amara La Negra was very well aware of what the situation is, it looked like she just looking for a way out. I said, girl, you're right. That's exactly what it was. You know, Amara La Negra is trying to explain it to her. No, Bucky in her hair. It's just the things that she was saying sounded too familiar. Bucky in her hair was like, still, it shouldn't matter. Shouldn't no bitch be able to come in and change your whole mind. That's when Amara La Negra, she always has to get up on her high horse. I'm so tired of everybody trying to run my life. Everybody telling me what I should do in my life, what I should do in my career. I'm sick of it. I want to take off. I said, oh, girl. That's not a violin sound, but you know what I mean? Like, oh, we so tired of you always the victim. Bucky in the hair was like, my brother put a lot on hold for you. Okay, well, maybe you don't need to do that either. And Amara La Negra was like, I told him to make sure he go out and do his business. He chose to cater to Amara La Negra. She didn't ask him. Bucky in the hair don't give a fuck. Somebody's watching me from their car. Amara La Negra don't even know why she talking to Bucky in her hair about this. And Bucky in her hair was like, well, you know what? My brother came to my house and he told me about it. So now I'm coming to talk to you. So what? Okay, uh-oh. I said, oh, it's fixing to get real. Amara La Negra was like, Bucky in her hair, I think it's also time for me to take a break from you. Bucky in her hair said, bitch, you ain't said nothing but a word. Let me tell you, let me help you out one better. Don't talk to me at all no more shit. Ain't nobody got time to be sitting up here with your old, you know, easily pliable, always listening to somebody else's ass. She was like, bye, bitch, Amara La Negra. Oh, you call me a bitch? Oh, I'm so scared. I said, girl, you ought to be scared because I tell you that Bucky in her hair, if she ain't nothing else, she quick with them hands. She be to snatch that whole wig off your head, girl. But Bucky in her hair is not gonna fight her. Bucky in her hair was just like, whatever, bitch, whatever, I'm leaving. So she walked out. So JoJo was like, y'all just got real ghetto in this real nice, okay, establishment. Okay. But look, it's just clear that you and MJ, y'all not working. Maybe y'all just not meant to be. You know, maybe this ain't gonna work out. And JoJo's trying to talk to Amara La Negra, and then in walks MJ. Hey, baby. You know, I found out where you was gonna be, you know, and I was in the area, so I just decided to come on by. He got cards and candy and flowers and shit. JoJo was just like, I'm gonna give you guys some space, okay? I'm gonna let y'all just do whatever it is you need to do. Amara La Negra was like, when I told him I needed time, I meant I needed time. I don't want to be forced into getting back together with him. But no, MJ is one of them men that say, listen, if I give you space, that might give enough time for somebody else to move in. When has space ever helped anybody? If we're gonna be together or working it out, we need to be together to work it out. He sit down and he go on through his whole, you know, I know what it feels like, baby, you know, and I've been there for you, and I just want to make sure that we can... Oh, Lord. I'm so tired of Amara La Negra and MJ. You know, he get to crying. It's been hard without you. And I said, are you really crying? I guess. Child, he probably was like, what the fuck he gonna eat for these next all this time that they not together? And Amara La Negra, she just looking at him like, I wish you would understand where I'm coming from. And he was like, I understand where you coming from, baby, but I understand where I'm coming from, too. He is not fixing to let your ass go. And so I'm going to give you a little space, you know, if this much space is what you're talking about. But I'm going to always be lurking around in the background because he ain't letting the best thing that ever happened to him go. He say he's still going to fight for her and whatnot. I said, child, fine. And then lastly, you guys, we see Trina. She's at the house with Bobby and she's packing for her trip. And she says that this trip might do her some good, you know, just trying to get through her mom's birthday, being in her mom's hometown, you know, being around the rest of the family, Bobby being there, you know, bringing the relief, the comedy relief. And, you know, this is a trip that she's looking forward to. This will get everybody's mind right. You know, Trick could appreciate a getaway right now with all that's going on in his life. You know, Joy will be there. You know, this is going to be be nice. But we don't know that because over at Trick Daddy house, he going off on all of the production, okay? That the extended cast. Oh, he said get the fuck out of his house. He not doing this, fuck Love and Hip Hop. He not doing the show no more, for them to put his mug shot out there. That shit wasn't cool. He not doing this. He going off on Joy. Joy is there. All of the production staff is all standing around like, what? So he just going off, and Joy is just like, wait a minute, what? And the production don't know what to do. I ain't doing Love and Hip Hop, and I'm not going nowhere. Get out of my house. Get out of my house. Okay, so he walk up the stairs. So he done stressed out. He done plugged Joy's last good nerve, okay, stressed her out. So she leaves from there, and she rushes over to Trina's house. And Bobby and Trina are there, and she was just like, oh my God, you guys don't even know what just happened. They was like, what, why you all, what's the matter? Man, Trick just went crazy. He said he ain't going on no trip. He mad about them putting out his mug shot. Now, explain to me, is he blaming actual Love and Hip Hop producers or Mona? I said, Mona, bitch, you ain't put this nigga mug shot out, did you? But then I thought that mug shots were public record. Or is that not the case? Trick Daddy is a celebrity. So, of course, that was going to make it out there. So, I'm just trying to understand, is he blaming them or he just mad that the shit is out there anyways? I don't know. But Trick Daddy mad, suffice it to say. So, he ain't going, but whatever. The show must still go on. So, they go to the airport. And we getting on this plane and we going to the Bahamas, okay? And then they get to the Bahamas and they excited, driving to the city. They get to the hotel. Trina was like, oh, I stayed at this hotel with my mom before, so that brings back nice memories for her. I feel so sorry for Trina because, even though she's doing very well, considering this is her mom's first birthday and everything, and she ain't had no breakdowns, you can still see that it's a sadness that is inside of you, especially when it's fresh like this. It's a sadness that you just can't cover. You can still be having a good time. You can be laughing, you can be joking and everything, but there's still that innate sadness that is there. And you can see it on Trina. So I actually feel bad for her, but she's trying to keep a stiff upper lip and, just enjoying the moment for what it is. Okay, they get to the hotel, and Joy and Bobby are talking, and he even mentions he's trying to keep the air light, trying to make sure that everybody is laughing so that Trina never ever gets, a moment when she's sad. And Joy says, yeah, I know, and then Joy lets us know that she's actually brought the mom, because I guess they had the mom cremated. So she actually brought the mom there, and I'm not sure if they're going to spread her ashes out there, if they're going to leave her there with the family. I doubt that. But I guess if the ashes are still intact, Trina's probably going to take her with her. But so I wasn't really sure, but she puts the mom up on the shelf. And so the mom is there, okay? Bobby calls her the baddest bitch. People think Trina was, but the mama was. She was a good person, and, that's where Trina gets it from. So, it was nice to... Bobby has really matured from his last couple of times on the show, the last 2 seasons. This season is even though he ain't got shit going on, it's still been cool to see him in this, in this mode. Anyways, later on they get dressed and they're gonna go meet the rest of the family out that night. Trina said that most of the family wasn't able to come to the funeral, so it's good for her to be able to see everybody while she's there. And they all meet out at this little outdoor restaurant, sit at a big park bench, and all the family is there, and they just have a good time, just talking about the old times, talking about the mom. I thought that Bobby was actually related. I guess he's not related to her through this side of the family, or maybe he's related through extension or something like that, but he didn't seem to know them. But they all still got along fine. They were talking about Trina's stepfather, who she just called her father because he raised her. They talked about the father getting killed when she was 10 years old. He was robbed. And I was like, wow, she's had a lot of tragedy in her life, So I just feel sorry for Trina the whole time. But again, she kept a stiff upper lip. She never broke down, never got the shaky voice, never got any of that, and she actually toasted to her mom, her stepfather, her dad, and this is still a celebration of life. So that was nice to see. And then the next day we see Bobby. He's at the at their hotel, and he's made breakfast. I said, boy, you ain't made that breakfast, but it's a big old spread. Trina comes down first. Where's Joy? She's not ready yet. While she's sitting down there talking to Bobby, just making small talk, Joy comes down. She's got her glasses on. I said, girl, why do you have on shades? Even Trina was like, girl, take that mess off. You look crazy. I mean, we know you ain't got your makeup on. It's morning, so we would give you a pass. But Joy was like, y'all ain't gonna catch her slipping shit. But anyway, she comes and sits down with Trina and Bobby, and they're just talking, and then all of a sudden they just hearing somebody going, yo! Okay, from the door. Of course, I know that's Trick Daddy. I know his voice, definitely. I'm sure they do too, but they all just like, well, who is that? Who is that? And then they get up and they go to the door, and then that's when it ends. Well, Trick Daddy has made it to the Bahamas. All right, you guys, let me get off of here. I'm gonna run in here. I am over my time, but I need to get me something to eat. So you guys, let me do that. Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is for itsrox, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Until next time, rock stars. Bye.